Did you know that 99% of leadership failures aren't due to a lack of skills, but a collapse of character? That's not a number I made up. It's the result of a global study spanning thousands of corporations. Today, I'm going to reveal to you the ninth principle that most personal development courses never teach. Yet it's the single greatest determinant of whether you'll succeed or fail in life. This isn't about positive thinking or hustle culture. It's about the foundational rock upon which every achievement must be built. We live in an era where competence is worshipped, coding boot camps, MBA programs, certification marathons, but we've systematically neglected the one thing that makes competence sustainable: the strength of your inner core. Imagine you're climbing a ladder leaning against a wall. You put in the effort, step by step, acquiring skills, gathering experience, and moving higher. But at a certain height, the ladder suddenly slips from the wall, and you come crashing down. Why? Because you were so focused on climbing that you forgot to ensure the ladder was leaning against a solid structure. In your personal development journey, that ladder represents your competencies, your skills, knowledge, and talents. The wall is your character. If your character isn't solid, everything you build atop it will eventually collapse. This metaphor isn't just poetic. It's a psychological and practical reality observed across every field of human endeavor. From the entrepreneur whose startup implodes due to ethical shortcuts to the politician whose career ends in scandal, the pattern is universal. They climbed high on a ladder of skill, but the wall of their character couldn't support the weight. This brings us to the ninth principle of victory. The degree of your character development determines the degree of your personal development. In simpler terms, how wealthy, respected, influential, and fulfilled you become is directly proportional to how strong your character foundation is. You might have the most brilliant mind, the most persuasive communication skills, or the most innovative ideas, but if your character is weak, those attributes will either fail you or become tools for self-destruction. This principle sounds almost too simple, which is why most people commit a fatal error. They spend 90% of their time sharpening their abilities and only 10%, if any, on strengthening their character. We treat character as a soft, nebulous concept, something that's nice to have but not essential for success. That misconception is why so many successful people are miserable, why empires built on deceit crumble, and why genuine fulfillment remains elusive for the masses. Let's examine this imbalance through the lens of modern education and professional training. From childhood, we're pushed to excel academically, to earn degrees, to collect certifications. As adults, we attend workshops on leadership, time management, and digital marketing. All of these are valuable, but when was the last time you attended a workshop on integrity? When did you last spend an hour reflecting on your honesty, your courage, your humility, or your compassion? We treat character as a given, something that's either innate or instilled by parents long ago. But character isn't static. It's a muscle that atrophies if not exercised. By neglecting it, we're essentially constructing a skyscraper on a swamp. It might stand for a while, but the first major storm will bring it down, and no amount of skill can prevent that collapse. This neglect is systemic, woven into our culture's obsession with quick results and visible metrics. We measure IQ and EQ, but where is the CQ, the character quotient? Consider this real-world scenario. Two entrepreneurs launch tech startups at the same time. The first, let's call him Alex, is a programming prodigy. He holds an MBA from a top-tier university, possesses an extensive network of contacts, and secures millions in venture capital within months. His company grows at a staggering pace, featured in headlines as the next unicorn. However, Alex has a critical flaw. He lacks fundamental honesty. He promises investors unrealistic growth metrics, he exaggerates product capabilities to customers, and he manipulates his team with empty promises. For a while, the deception works. But after 3 years, the truth surfaces. The company is exposed for fraudulent reporting. Key employees leave in disgust. Lawsuits pile up, and the venture collapses overnight. Alex loses not only his wealth but also his reputation, finding himself untouchable in the industry he once dominated. His skills didn't save him. They amplified his downfall because they were deployed without a moral compass. Now, meet the second entrepreneur, Blake. Blake is not a technical genius. His background is modest and his initial growth is slow. But Blake operates with unwavering integrity. He is transparent with his investors about both opportunities and risks. He treats his employees with respect, shares credit for successes, and takes personal responsibility for failures. He prioritizes customer satisfaction over short-term profits. Because of this, he builds something powerful: trust. His team is fiercely loyal, his investors become long-term partners, and his customers become evangelists. After 5 years, Blake's company achieves sustainable, profitable growth and is valued in the hundreds of millions. The lesson here is profound. Competence can get you to the top quickly, but only character can keep you there. Competence without character is like a rocket without a guidance system. It might soar, but its trajectory is unpredictable and likely to end in disaster. Blake's story isn't an anomaly. It's a blueprint. It shows that in the long run, the market rewards trust, consistency, and ethical behavior, because these qualities reduce risk, foster loyalty, and create ecosystems where everyone thrives. Now, let's pause and challenge a common assumption. Many people look at the world and see that dishonesty often seems to pay off. They see politicians lying and getting re-elected, executives cutting corners and getting bonuses, influencers fabricating stories and gaining followers. It's easy to conclude that nice guys finish last. But that's a surface-level observation. What you're not seeing are the long-term consequences. Those who succeed through deceit are playing a short game. They may win a few rounds, but they inevitably lose the war. Their relationships are transactional. Their success is fragile, and their inner life is often filled with anxiety and emptiness. They live in constant fear of exposure, and their social capital is a house of cards. On the other hand, those who build on character are playing a long game. They cultivate resilience, deep trust, and a sense of purpose that transcends external validation. In a world saturated with short-term thinkers, being a long-term player is the ultimate competitive advantage. It's the advantage of compound interest in relationships, reputation, and inner peace. Think about your own environment. Whether it's your workplace, your social circle, or even online communities, you likely encounter people who use manipulation, half-truths, or outright deception to get ahead. In such an ecosystem, your integrity might feel like a handicap. But here's the counterintuitive truth. Precisely because dishonesty is so common, integrity becomes incredibly rare and valuable. When you are consistently honest, you stand out. People remember you as reliable. They refer opportunities to you because they know you won't betray trust. You become a safe harbor in a stormy sea, and everyone seeks a safe harbor eventually. This isn't just moralizing. It's strategic. Your character becomes your brand, and a brand built on trust attracts loyalty that money cannot buy. Think of the most trusted figures in your industry. Why do people flock to them? It's not just skill. It's the certainty that they will act with principle. That certainty is a magnetic force in an uncertain world. So, how do you actually build character? A common misconception is that character is fixed. You're either born with it or you're not. Another fallacy is that reading a few philosophy books or listening to inspirational talks will transform you. Character development is not an intellectual exercise. It's a rigorous, ongoing practice. It's akin to physical training. You don't get a strong body by watching a workout video. You have to lift the weights day after day. Similarly, character is forged in the furnace of daily choices. Each time you choose honesty over a convenient lie, each time you keep a promise when it's difficult, each time you stand up for what's right despite social pressure, you are doing a rep for your character muscle. These small, consistent actions create neural pathways, strengthening your moral resolve until integrity becomes your default setting. Neuroscience confirms this. Repeated ethical actions reinforce specific brain circuits associated with self-control and empathy, making virtuous behavior easier over time. It's literal rewiring. At the core of character lies one indispensable quality: honesty. But honesty is often misunderstood. It's not merely about not telling falsehoods. True honesty is multidimensional. First, it's honesty with yourself. The courage to confront your own weaknesses, biases, and fears without sugarcoating. This self-awareness is the bedrock of all growth. If you lie to yourself about your capabilities or your motivations, you're building on a fantasy. Second, it's honesty with others. Communicating truthfully, keeping your word, and representing reality accurately. This builds the social trust that fuels collaboration and opportunity. When you are honest, you emit a signal of stability and predictability, which reduces friction in all human interactions. People know what to expect from you, and that certainty is a powerful social currency. Honesty also includes intellectual honesty, the willingness to change your mind when presented with new evidence, and to give credit where it's due. This comprehensive honesty is the linchpin that holds the entire structure of character together. Let's dive deeper into the psychology behind this. Why does character, and honesty in particular, have such a profound impact on success? Human brains are wired for social connection and reciprocity. When we interact with someone honest, our brain's trust circuits activate, releasing oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This creates a positive feedback loop. Trust leads to cooperation. Cooperation leads to shared success, which reinforces trust. Conversely, when we detect dishonesty, our amygdala, the threat detection center, lights up, triggering defensiveness and avoidance. Therefore, a person with strong character literally alters the neurochemistry of those around them, fostering environments where creativity, risk-taking, and loyalty can flourish. This isn't soft science. It's hard neuroeconomics. Your character directly influences the biological and psychological states of your team, your clients, and your network, either unlocking collective potential or stifling it. Leaders with high character create psychological safety, which Google's Project Aristotle identified as the #1 factor in team effectiveness. So, building character isn't just about personal virtue. It's about enabling the highest performance in everyone around you. Now, consider the organizational level. Look at the most enduring and successful companies in the world, names like Patagonia, Salesforce, or Microsoft under Satya Nadella. What do they have in common? They have explicitly made character and trust core to their operational philosophy. Patagonia's commitment to environmental honesty has created a cult-like customer base willing to pay a premium for authenticity. Salesforce's 1-1-1 model of philanthropy builds trust within communities and attracts talent who want purpose beyond profit. Nadella transformed Microsoft's culture by emphasizing empathy and learning over know-it-all arrogance, which revived innovation and stock value. These companies understand that, in the information age, secrets are hard to keep. Transparency and integrity are not just ethical choices. They are competitive necessities. A single scandal can destroy decades of brand equity overnight, while a reputation for honesty attracts top talent, loyal customers, and patient capital. They prove that character-driven leadership isn't a cost. It's an investment with staggering returns. You might be thinking, that's great for CEOs, but what about me? I'm just starting my career, or I'm in the middle of it. How do I apply this? The application is universal. Start with a ruthless self-audit. Take a notebook and write down your core values. What do you believe in? Then track your behavior for a week. How often do your actions align with those values? Be brutally honest. You'll likely find gaps, we all do. The goal isn't perfection. It's awareness. Next, identify one small character rep you can do daily. Could be as simple as admitting a mistake in a meeting instead of blaming others, or fulfilling a promise you made to yourself, like exercising, even when you don't feel like it. These micro-actions build momentum. They are the bricks of your wall. Also, practice reflective journaling at the end of each day. Ask yourself, when was I most proud of my character today? When did I compromise? This reflection solidifies learning and prepares you for tomorrow's choices. Secondly, curate your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by cynics who believe that cutting corners is smart, their mindset will erode yours. Seek out mentors, colleagues, or friends who prioritize character. Join communities or mastermind groups where integrity is celebrated. These relationships will provide accountability and inspiration when your resolve weakens. Remember, character is contagious. You can catch it from others just as easily as you can catch negativity. Actively distance yourself from toxic influences, even if they offer short-term benefits. The long-term cost to your character is never worth it. Instead, build a character board of directors, people whose judgment you trust and whose example you want to emulate. Their influence will steer you through ethical gray areas. Thirdly, Reframe your definition of success. If your only metric is money, status, or power, you'll be tempted to sacrifice character to achieve them. But if you define success as becoming a person of integrity who makes a positive impact, then every character-building choice becomes a success in itself. This shift in mindset is liberating. It aligns your actions with your deeper purpose, reducing internal conflict and increasing resilience against external pressures. You stop chasing validation and start building a legacy. This doesn't mean you abandon material goals. It means you pursue them in ways that strengthen rather than weaken your character. For example, instead of focusing solely on closing a deal, focus on building a relationship based on mutual benefit and honesty. The deal becomes a byproduct of your character, not the sole objective. This approach leads to more sustainable and satisfying achievements. Finally, practice patience. Character development is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be setbacks, moments where you fail to live up to your own standards. That's okay. What matters is that you get back up, learn, and recommit. The journey itself is transformative. Over time, you'll notice that opportunities seem to find you, people trust you with bigger responsibilities, and your sense of self-worth becomes unshakable because it's based on who you are, not what you have. This process is gradual, often invisible, but its effects compound. Like a tree growing roots deep into the earth, your character will anchor you through storms and allow you to reach heights you never thought possible. The key is to keep showing up, day after day, choice after choice. In a world obsessed with hacks, shortcuts, and overnight success, the principle of character is the ultimate contrarian strategy. It's the quiet, steady work that goes unseen but ultimately determines everything. Your character is the wall that holds your ladder. No matter how high you want to climb, start by strengthening that wall. Build it with the bricks of honesty, courage, and compassion. Then, when you ascend, you'll do so with the confidence that your success is built to last. The choice is yours, and it begins with the very next decision you make. Will you choose the easy lie or the hard truth? The quick win or the lasting legacy? Your answer, repeated over a lifetime, will write the story of your success. Make it a story worth telling.